We're here with another one of our YDA interviews, and I'm thrilled to be joined for this one with Farhad Ghaderi, who directed the incredible Virtuous Circle music video for Jordan Klassen that picked up a YDA Gold Award. Thanks so much for joining us, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks to you, man. Happy to be here.
Whereabouts are you at the moment? This is such a wonderful view behind you.
Yeah, this is my home in Vancouver, BC, to where I just got back a couple of days ago, and now I'm self-quarantining for a couple of weeks. So this is a lot of this office for the next 2 weeks.
Just going to be locked up in there, taking sustenance from the plants, cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. This cup and me are going to have fun for a while.
Well, congratulations on the gold win. I'm looking forward to chatting to you about Virtuous Circle. We've actually spoken about this prior to the YDAs, but I'm hoping to delve into some of the other details on this. But before we talk about the film itself, I'd love to get a bit of an insight into how did you get into filmmaking? What sort of drew you to filmmaking?
I think my family comes from a big lineage of journalists, and so I kind of got into filmmaking through photography. I was doing a lot of street photography and documenting a lot of protests in Mexico City. I'm from Mexico City, and so I used to do that a lot as a teenager. And one thing leads to another, and like you have a camera and you start shooting things with friends. And I've always also been a cinephile, and that's kind of how the connections were made. I had a big political depression after a big student movement in Mexico, and I said, "Fuck this! I'm gonna do film because maybe I can do some change there too." TBD, but that's kind of how I got into it.
Okay, cool. And you carried on shooting down there, or when did you make the move up to Vancouver?
Back when I was 18, I moved to Canada for university. I just didn't want to have anything to do with Mexico at the time. So I say a little political depression there. And yeah, just been here ever since.
Cool. Right. So, well, speaking about the film itself, how did that project get involved? Were you aware of Jordan and his work before?
Yeah. So Jordan, it's funny because I have listened to Jordan's music for a long time since I got here to Vancouver, and then I always wanted to make something with him. And so I slid into his DMs like a couple months before we did Virtuous Circle for another project. He had just put up an album, and I just said, "Man, listen, I would love to make something with you." So we connected, and we were gonna make something where we never really found money to do it. And so that kind of just like faded off, and then later on I heard about this grant for indie and like upcoming artists, and I thought, man, this is our chance. And I hit him up again, and then that's kind of how we connected all over again. But yeah, I knew Jordan's music for a while, and I always wanted to make something with him. One of those like small Vancouver celebrities for sure.
Sliding into the DMs though, that's a bold move.
Yeah, I know, no shame.
So yeah, was this something? I mean, the story is a beautiful story, so it's beautifully told, and the relationship between the brothers is wonderful. Is this something that you had in mind prior to hearing the track, and it just sort of connected, or was this something that sort of came out of the track and speaking to Jordan?
I think it was a little bit more like a little bit from here, a little bit from there. I spoke to Jordan about the song and what the song meant once over coffee, and we knew it was like something like we knew what the song was about, but we didn't want to make a video about about the song. So I kind of just took it with me, and then I knew I wanted to be something with a lot of energy and like slightly cathartic. But the idea actually came to me because I usually, when I start writing stuff, I take a web hiatus. And so what I used to do when you could go out, I would go to the library and just like grab a shit ton of books from all kinds of shelves, like doesn't matter what they were about. And I was just trying to like immerse in those books and go through them, browse them, and make little notes. And so I found this one book, this photojournalistic book that was documenting the life of this guy who struggled with addiction. And there's one photo of this man who's with a little boy like by a lake, and they're both kind of like hugging. But then this old guy looks so bad, like he's struggling with addiction for sure. but then the kid looks so happy and he looks so happy too. And I thought, man, this is it, you know, like this is kind of what the emotion I'm looking for, the idea of you can be like, we are all very flawed. We all have our issues, and yet we all have loved ones. We all love. We all seek for love. And so that idea stuck with me. And then I realized that I could do something about brotherhood because I grew up with a brother, very closely with my older brother. Not that my brother struggles with addiction or anything like that, but just like the idea of like doing something about brotherhood could feel very personal to me. And then that just kind of like developed into the rhythm and the energy of the song, and then it just all started like kind of blending together. And then wrote a little script. Jordan was into it, and we went straight for it.
Well, I'm guessing key to that was obviously casting the brothers, because I mean they are throughout the film, and their relationship, how you capture it is so beautiful. It's like it really feels like a very genuine relationship. So can you tell me a little bit about how you found them, how you sort of developed that relationship?
Totally. Well, first of all, I knew that, you know, as a cinematographer who was directing, and I've been here before, is like you tend to end with really pretty pictures, but like a lack of substance or like a lack of good performance. And I didn't want to repeat those same mistakes again. And so yeah, casting was a really important process for us. For the older brother, I had actually written the character for this one Quebecois actor, Antoine Olivier Pilon, who is a kid in Mommy, the Xavier Dolan film. And I just wanted him. I wanted him so bad. And everybody was like, no, you can't get him. Like, this is a music video. And yet my casting director, Chris, he went above and beyond and contacted his agent and pushed for it. And Antoine actually liked the script a lot. And he said, okay, let's do it. So he came on board. And then for the younger brother, it was pretty hard because like we needed a kid who was down to do all these physical stuff, and it was also very sensitive, and it also was down to shave his head. So that was really hard. The shaving head was a tricky part. And then we found Ben, who was so great, and he was down to shave his head, and then he was just perfect for the role. And funnily enough, we didn't have enough. Like, I wanted to rehearse a lot with them, but we didn't have the time, music video budgets and all that, you know. So we only had the one day in which I just wanted basically them to get really comfortable with each other, because a lot of it's all about like the tangible trust between them, so like the brotherhood aspect could translate. And so I started by sharing stuff about myself. You know, I just wanted also to be on the same level of trust with them, like, hey, I'm down to be vulnerable with you guys if you're willing to do it as well. So I just wanted us to share personal stuff together, and at first it was kind of weird, but then like it started like trickling and going on for it. And then we did a lot of like physical exercises, just kind of like, you know, little games like hitting the hands or like pushing each other, like just little physical exercises that got them very comfortable with each other. And then on the day, like I think my approach for it was also to just let them bring their own take into the characters, and allow for a lot of improvisation. And the fact that we were not recording dialogue was really helpful for us, because we could be tweaking the characters, tweaking the stories, tweaking everything on the go, and let them feel more comfortable with the characters, and like let them embody the characters and feel like it's them and not just somebody who they're playing. So that really helped, you know, like they're both really great actors. And then we also had other actors like Jennifer, who's the mother, who's like has a great career in theater, and she's just so good. So all these like little pieces just build up onto each other, and honestly, like we ended up with such a great cast.
And you shot am I right in saying you shot the film as well as directing it? You were the cinematographer,
right?
So would that present any problems in terms of the directing? You know, obviously having to sort of manipulate the camera as well as communicating to the actors.
I wouldn't say a problem, but it was definitely very, very challenging. And just because, you know, like whatever you're doing on set, you want to give your 100%. And especially with this one, when we had a lot of like vulnerable scenes or whatnot, like I just really wanted to be with my actors and like let them know that I see them, that I'm seeing their vulnerability. Like, you know, like we're in this together kind of thing. But then if you have to be like, okay, bring that M18 over there, like put some hash CT on it, like it's like it doesn't really translate that well. So like it really depends on kind of what the shoot you're doing. So that was a challenge for sure, like not being able to be on both like mental spaces, like just transition between those mental spaces in your head, and also being able to like transition for either your crew or your talent. But luckily we, you know, like I had such an amazing crew of friends, and so I didn't have, you know, like none of that micromanaging shit, just like full trust to every single person on set, and that helped a lot because I could just try to jump from these spaces as much as I could. So it was challenging. It was very challenging, but no, not a huge problem.
I'm guessing I'm speaking to the cinematographer head now rather than the director head. Am I right in saying you shot on 16 mil? What was
16 mil
for that choice? Because obviously you're saying that budgets were limited, but you know, shooting on film's never the cheapest option.
Right, I know, that's such a it's a classic music video thing, you know, like we have such a low budget and the director's like, we're gonna shoot on film, and like we're not gonna pay crew for it. But luckily we did pay crew, and then luckily boldly the production company ended up investing some money in the film, and it was such a good call. I wanted to shoot film for a number of reasons, but I think mostly because I wanted to be very purposeful with every single thing we did. You know, I didn't want to go for that classic okay, just keep rolling and we'll just find it kind of thing. I really wanted to be more purposeful with everything we were doing. And the second thing also, the film is supposed to take place in the 90s, but that doesn't really, like, we never really say that for anyone, like it's not that important, but I wanted that like reminiscence of like the time that's passed and a sense of melancholia, and the film really helps with that, especially 16 mil. So yeah, no, it worked out so nicely. And honestly, shooting on film also helps a lot on smaller shoots because people also take it more seriously. I think, you know, people are just more present on set, and that makes everyone's work just so much better.
Well, definitely, yeah. You feel the warmth, in my opinion. Like you can sense it doesn't feel like it's an arbitrary decision. Like it really feels like the film is made for that choice. So. And obviously not just my opinion, the opinion of the judges of the YDA, because you picked up the award. So how was that? How was winning the gold?
It was great. Very unexpected, honestly. I was on the highway, and then like we were watching the awards. I was like shooting another thing, and then suddenly like signal just got lost exactly when they were gonna announce the winner. And then like I was like, okay, fuck it, you know, like I didn't even win. And then like half an hour later, I just like got a bunch of messages from friends and my producer, and it's like, oh my god, and that was super nice. And yeah, no, like I'm very, very grateful for it. I think I've always looked up to people who were in that kind of category and like have won these awards. And sorry, my cat's going crazy. I let me just open the door for this guy. And
no, go for it.
All right, go for it. Oh, sorry, that guy.
Oh, mate, I was convinced my toddler was going to walk in halfway through. So at least one of us has got a small menace.
Yeah. But no, it was great. Yeah.
So you say you were on the road when you found out about all of this. So that doesn't sound very lockdowny. So have you been able to shoot over the past 6 months? What have you been up to?
Man, it's been crazy. Like as soon as some restrictions went like just eased up, like shooting like crazy. I've been shooting so much in the past 2 months. Like people are just so worried that you're not going to be able to shoot again for who knows how long. So I actually just got back from shooting 2 projects in Mexico. And then I'm shooting, as soon as I finish my quarantine, I'm shooting another 2 projects, and I'm directing another one right after as well, with Jordan Klassen again. And just like been shooting a couple of things. You know, there's all these protocols and stuff, but people always find a way.
Cool. Well, we can't wait to see what you produce. And thanks so much. It sounds like you're a busy boy, so I better let you go. But thanks so much.
No, it's all good. No, thank you, man. It's been a pleasure.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.